The Podsters, episode 27, for your listening pleasure on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Shh! Listen.
Dude, what was that?
Do you hear that?
I do. Do we have elephants in the house?
Right now, Penny is having a bully run.
Right outside the studio.
And she's running up and down the stairs. I can hear her barreling up and down the stairs. And I was just wondering if you guys could pick it up.
I don't know. I think so.
Anyways, welcome back, Podsters.
And Podsterinos.
Fellow Podsters. Thank you for listening to us. That's all I have to say. No, just kidding. Oh,
I thought we were going to say Happy Father's Day.
yeah. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Or to all you fathers out there.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to those fathers to be. Yeah.
To all of you.
I'm assuming it's an exciting time for the fathers to be. I have to say Happy Father's Day to my dad.
Well, he had a good Father's Day, even though he got it celebrated a couple of days early.
Oh, yeah. We had Brazilian steakhouse. Whoop, whoop.
And a movie.
And a movie. We saw Deadpool 2. I have to say, I'm not one to watch those kind of movies. I just went along to go along because we were doing the Father's Day thing for my dad. And I have to say it was pretty good.
Cool. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I never saw the first one, so that makes me want to watch the first one, but the second one is pretty good, I have to say, and I'm the type of person that really doesn't like those kind of movies. So, for all of those Deadpool enthusiasts, you should go see it. It's pretty cool.
Check it out.
I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not that person. Don't you hate those people that end up ruining movies for you? Like, I sometimes don't mind listening to people's perspective on movies that they just saw or whatever, but when they give away the whole damn movie,
Yeah, and especially the ending.
and it's a movie that you really wanted to see, it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe my experience watching the movie will be different.
And being old as I am, same goes for books for me. When people tell you how a book ends, it's like, thanks, now I don't have to read it.
But, the good thing about books, though, is that you can really put it to your own imagination.
Yeah, true, but still, it's just like, well, you want to find out the ending for yourself, just
True.
like with a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but those people that give away movies and stuff like that, not cool. Just shut up.
Shame on you.
Just shut up. Okay?
Shut up.
Shut up. Anyways, happy Father's Day again to my dad, my Superman, my hero. And happy Father's Day to my grandfather as well. We did celebrate his, I guess we just celebrated him for Father's Day because my dad had to work today. So everybody on my mom's side of the family got together and we, for once, didn't barbecue. It was kind of nice.
Nice, but completely crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you have a Hispanic family who thinks that they're Italian. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Even though I had to up my ancestry on you guys.
Yeah, it was so funny because, me and Chris joke about the fact that we think my mom's side of the family are probably Mexican Jews. Just because of their kind of features, mannerisms, and stuff like that. They have certain, characteristics that would be kind of Jewy, if that makes any sense. And I'm not trying to, be racist or anything. I'm just trying
Podster stirring shit up.
Right? So, they're just kind of Jewish in a way.
Very much so.
And even, Chris notices it. And funny thing is that I have cousins that, weren't a part of the family at one point and now are, and they see how the family functions and the mannerisms and characteristics of the family. And they're like, yes, there is like a Jewiness to this family. I don't get it.
Yeah, but I think after all the debates today, I had to up it from 80% Israel and 20% Native American to 50% Israel, 25% Native American, and 25% werewolves.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris has been witness to the werewolf side of the family. It's so funny because
that's why I always carry a silver bullet, just in case.
I say I'm hairy. I feel like I'm kind of hairy. Like I've got furry arms, and it's like not an exaggeration. I feel like and I shave my arms and legs and everything just so I don't look like a werewolf.
Right. And you guys, when it's full moon, you guys go completely crazy.
Okay, so it's funny that, I have cousins that have recently, come into the family that weren't necessarily a part of the family in the beginning of their lives. So, we kind of, I guess, we talk to each other about certain issues that we have. And it's like, yeah, we're related. Okay. Yeah, I get it. It's funny because like my newest cousin that came out of the woodwork was like, oh my God. And I'm not going to say any names or anything like that. I don't think anybody would know anyways, but she was like, oh my God, I am a werewolf. She goes, I have hairy arms and a furry lower back.
See, and that's why I had to update you guys' ancestry.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, unfortunately, I think we all have that shit. Sorry. And you can blame this side of the family for it.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm not even going to get into the last name of it because the last name of the family would totally fit into the whole werewolf thing.
Hence the 25%.
Anyhow, so yeah, that's great. Hope everybody had a good Father's Day. Those of you who are able to spend Father's Day with your fathers, I hope y'all had a good time. For those of you who have lost your fathers in the past, I would say they're always going to be in your heart and they'll never leave you, regardless if they've left you in this life. They're always with you. And on that note, I kind of wanted to talk about something that's been kind of like bothering me a little bit. So, you know how the food banks are always asking for like non-perishable items?
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of curious to know. I mean, I know why they ask for that stuff, but why don't they kind of ask for a little bit more? And I kind of spoke to someone the other day about it who actually works with one of the food banks here. And they said that they do accept meats and vegetables.
Uh-huh.
But the meats have to be stored in a specific temperature and the vegetables have to be, I guess,
Not bad. They shouldn't have gone bad by the time you donate.
Yeah, they should at least be something that people can eat. So
a suggestion for you guys around here, I know it's not common, but we have listeners everywhere. If you guys are part of a co-op when it comes to produce, I know that a lot of times you get way
an excessive
more
amount of fruits and vegetables and stuff, and sometimes you don't know what to do with the extra like beets or turnips or something like that.
Donate to the food
Donate
bank.
to your food bank, your local food bank. I'm pretty sure they could use it.
Well, I don't think there's a reason why poor people should have to eat bad food.
Right. That's my whole stance on this, is that I feel like if we're trying to get nourishment to the people who can't get nourishment on their own, let's just say they just can't afford to go to the grocery store and get food or whatever, they have every right to have accessibility to good food as well, to
Yes.
fresh food, to
Nutritious
food, nothing processed. Because you know what? All the processed food that is made in this world is making everybody sick.
Yes. That is a fact.
Why would you go, if you think about it, why would you feed yourself poison?
And if you think about it even more, why would you feed the needy poison?
Right. So let's be kind to ourselves and others. When I'm saying be kind to ourselves, let's try to stay away from processed foods and eat more fresh vegetables, healthy raised meats.
Which totally brings us to the bullshit of the week.
Right.
And that is...
hunters who hunt for sport. I can't stand that. It bothers the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I don't understand the whole point of going out and shooting a duck, shooting a quail, shooting doves, deer, whatever you hunt.
Yeah, what have you?
And just, hunt for game or whatever, hunt as a trophy or whatnot. That's pointless, and that's reckless to the environment.
Yeah, guys, if you go out there and you want to hunt, that's fine and all, but please, we now know that the food banks
and it's wasteful.
accept meat donations. Go out there, hunt your stuff, but if you only do it for the trophy, donate the meat. Take the time to actually butcher what you shot or caught, however you hunt. Mm-hmm. And drop off the meat and the intestines and stuff that you don't want to the food bank. Feed the people in need nutritious, healthy food. And trust me, game food is probably about the healthiest meat you can get.
Right. Because they're not being fed like antibiotics and
their environment
hormones
isn't
and
being
genetically modified crap that's introduced, that would be introduced into the system. It's pretty much what they're feeding to the livestock that we're consuming at the grocery stores.
Yes. Fresh caught food or meat is healthy. Mm-hmm. And if you guys go out there just for fun, take some social responsibility. So donate the leftovers or whatever you want to call it to your local food bank.
And see, that's another thing too. When I go back to my whole history books and stuff like that, look at the Indians. Come on, what did they do? They did not waste a thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, Native Americans, to be politically correct.
No, but also to distinct that we're not talking about the people from India. We're talking about
that's
Native
why I'm
Americans.
saying I'm trying to be politically correct when you corrected me, okay? Anyhow, so the Native Americans used every portion of the animal that they slaughtered.
I think people everywhere did that at one point. I mean, at one point we ended up hunting, not because it was fun or a sport or a game. It was for our own survival, to get the protein needed from another species.
Mm-hmm. And then later came along agriculture.
Yes.
And that's when things got kind of funny.
Yeah. I don't think people... we're not calling bullshit on it today, but let's keep going with the food for a second. I think all these diets, whether they're the Mediterranean diet and this and that diet, I really think that if the only diet that's healthy, so to speak, for people is some sort of Stone Age diet before agriculture, when we were hunter-gatherers. And I'm not saying that we have to eat like that today, but just with all these fads in how to eat, I think we just have to be aware of try to eat fresh.
Yeah,
and
you
exercise.
have to be aware of what you're consuming.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is we're over-consuming, and then we get so focused on these fad diets.
And the thing is, though, is that people are over-consuming the bad stuff, the wrong stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Protein bars and stuff like that. That's full of sugar. Sugar's bad for you. It's part of a process. You know what I mean?
Right.
And processed food is bad for you. I'm trying to find a way to eat right, to eat healthy and stuff like that. And the more and more, research I do, the more and more I'm kind of, steering my way towards the ketosis diet.
Yeah, I think that one and the paleo diet, or a combination thereof. But my point is just like you brought up, I think that we as humans were as healthy can be before we invented agriculture. Because I think that when we invented agriculture, it was more for, in a sense, cheap sustainability.
Right.
It's great. We don't have to spend the whole day going to try and find
to
food.
Be able to support or sustain life for multiple people.
Right. And in a somewhat quote-unquote easy way. Easier than to go out hunt and gather.
Yeah.
Let's grow all this crop. At least it'll fill our bellies. And we won't die of it today. We at least we'll be full.
Yeah.
So I think...
think about it, people. The Indians, they would have lived... I'm sorry. Let's backtrack here. The Native Americans, or let's just say maybe Aztecs or the Mayans, maybe they would still be around had, the conquistadors not come and brought disease.
Yeah, a large population was eradicated by foreign.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that they lived off the land. They did what they had to do and stuff like that, and they were, I'm assuming, pretty healthy.
I don't know about that. I think the Aztecs and Mayans actually were heavily into agriculture, but I think the northern tribes further up north, were more sustained by hunting and gathering.
Yeah.
So they for sure would have outlasted, probably, if the Europeans wouldn't have settled the Americas. I think that the northern Native Americans would have been healthier than the Aztecs and Mayans, who really went into agriculture. If you were to take, blood tests and heart rates and EKGs and MRIs and all that.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, to get back on track, we're calling bullshit on sports hunters. Nothing wrong with hunting per se, but if you do it, don't just chop ahead for a trophy or keep count on how much you've killed. Do something good with the leftover product of your sport.
Hey, you never know that you may find a way to fulfill your life that way. You may find some fulfillment in donating what you choose to kill as game or sport, and then donating it to people who are needy.
Yeah,
who don't have the accessibility to, or the luxury of eating like meat as protein.
Right. I think that would be a good personal fulfillment if that's part of your sport or whatever. You can get even more fulfillment.
Wouldn't you like to feel better about yourself? Wouldn't that make you feel better about yourself, knowing that you're helping people?
Let us know.
Yeah.
Comment
let us
on
know.
Facebook or on this episode.
Am I wrong for thinking that? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know. Because maybe I am wrong. Maybe it's like not kosher to have like the poor and needy, taking handouts from people who just kill for the sport of it.
Let us know.
Let us know. You know where you can find us.
You better. If not, I guess I'll tell you. Comment here on SoundCloud, YouTube. Find us on Facebook. Leave a comment there. Or if you're scared, send us an email at thepodsters@gmail.com.
That's thepodsters@gmail.com. Okay, so I am having a little issue here, and I need some advice. I know that Chris can give me some good advice. Maybe you guys have some input on this. I don't know. I would like your input. So, my question is...
So we don't get copyright sued for playing the X-Files music.
Oh, okay. The truth. When is it okay to speak the truth?
That's a little bit of a tricky question.
Yeah, okay. So let me tell you a little bit about my situation here. And I'm not going to give specifics. I'm going to be very vague because I don't want anybody to think anything of anyone or anything like that, okay? I know this is kind of weird, but I know something that I feel like people should know.
Okay.
Okay, it's almost like I have a secret and I feel like I need to tell two people in particular. And I don't know, I don't think it's in my place to say anything or tell them, but I really think they deserve to know this particular thing.
So,
I'm afraid it's going to hurt the person that has revealed the secret to me in so many ways. I mean, there's so many repercussions to letting this cat out of the bag that I'm like, I don't even... Is it my place to say anything? And I am a speaker of truth. I feel like if I have the truth, then, and I know and I'm aware of the people that around me don't know the truth, I will let them know. And regardless if you're a friend or foe, I will still let you know. And I feel like I've lost maybe friendships because of it. And I know that a lot of people don't like me because I speak the truth. But I just want a clear fucking conscience. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that it would be really great if we could get you guys' input on this very vague topic.
I know, and I'm sorry to be so vague.
But I was going to say, yeah, I think it would be great to get some of your guys' opinions. But let's discuss truth.
What is true? I mean, if you know that the truth is going to hurt somebody, is it your place to say anything? I
think personally, if we're going to go into that specific topic, I think that if you are immediately active in this truth yourself, you have a place to say something. Mm-hmm. If it's something that someone knows but doesn't directly pertain to them, I think things should be talked over with the people who are directly involved and at least kind of get their okay or blessing or whatever you want to call
on it,
before you
tell others. Yeah.
But when it comes to truth in general, though, I think that the world would be a much better place if people were truthful and honest. Because really, in my experience, it's not really the truth that becomes the main issue once you find out that you've either been lied to or truth has been withheld from you. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that you've been lied to or you feel that you've been made a fool of because people think that you're dumb enough to not find out the truth. Those are way bigger issues than the actual truth itself. Mm-hmm. We can take an example that I hope is a complete lie. Spaghetti bolognese.
What?
You like my spaghetti bolognese, right?
Right.
That's the truth.
Uh-huh.
Now, let's back up here for a moment. We're just making this an equation to really anything in life, but it's a kind of lighthearted subject.
Okay.
So, you like my spaghetti bolognese.
Of course.
And that is one of the reasons that I make it.
And that's one of the reasons why I married you.
Right? But now let's say that in actuality you don't like it. Uh-huh. You've actually withheld truth, as in you've lied and said, oh, this is delicious. Mm-hmm. Because I think a lot of times truth is withheld because people are afraid of that initial confrontation. Like if you would have told me the third time that, hey, I don't like this.
Or you would be afraid of disappointing that person.
Right. But kind of, if you think about it, short-term selfish reasons.
So basically what you're saying is like people lie in order to protect the person that they would possibly hurt if they spoke the truth.
In a sense, I think that's what they do or think they do. The problem is that the truth tends to come out one way or the other. Okay. And that's when it becomes a much bigger issue. And it's not really, like I said, it's not the truth that's the issue. It's the fact that it's been a lie for so long. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, let's say that you didn't like my bolognese.
Okay.
And instead of the third time saying that, hey, I really don't like this. That's because you're afraid of hurting me who made the bolognese. Mm-hmm. And also maybe have to take a kind of a boring night where it's like, why don't you? Well, I went through all this trouble to give this to you. And now you're telling me it sucks. But the thing is, if you come clean early on like that, once that initial kind of irritation or anger settles, mm-hmm. you can start figuring out, okay, so what do you like?
Right.
Oh, you like Alfredo sauce instead, and you like grilled shrimp with it. Well, then you can start, okay, let me try and make that for you instead of bolognese, since you don't like it. Mm-hmm. And when you do that and you actually like it, it's enjoyable. It's pleasurable for the person who puts the effort into making the meal to make it. Uh-huh. And it's pleasurable for the person to eat it too. Now, if it drags on... Uh-huh. No, but I think anybody who listens can put this into context, any context, really. And like I said, we're trying to make it lighthearted. Uh-huh. Now, if it's been lied to for 5 years... When the truth comes out, if you all of a sudden after 5 years say, you know what, I fucking hate this, and I've hated it since day one. It's much harder to deal with because it's like, why did you lie about it?
Right.
Why did you actually have me spend hours cooking something you hate? And how the hell do you feel good about yourself trying to eat something that you basically go and barf up afterwards? Or even worse, someone else tells you. Like, let's say your mom or dad, and it's like, oh, tonight I'm going to make spaghetti bolognese. And they go, why? Michelle hates that. When she was a kid, she tried to hide it or throw it in the trash. Mm-hmm. And you find out from a different source.
Which is not true because I would have eaten every bit of it.
Right. That's why it was a good example, because it's not true. But still, the whole point, I think, the longer you drag on with it, the devastation for the person who all of a sudden finds out the truth is not the truth itself. The simple statement, Michelle doesn't like bolognese. But it's this, why have you pretended for so long to like it? Why have I gone through the trouble making this when all this time we could have worked on finding a better recipe and we both could have been truly happy with the other outcome?
Okay. I get it.
So I think that's a big thing with the truth. The whole can we handle the truth? I think that in the long run, the truth can be handled in one way or the other.
Yeah, but it does take time to process.
Well, and depending on what's not been truthful, it can take time to overcome trust issues or whatever it is. But once again, really, if you think about it, those parts of it isn't really about the actual truth. That has more to do with the lies. Why have this been going on behind my back or without my knowledge? Mm-hmm. And the longer it has been going on, or a situation's been there that you haven't known about, I think it's like I said, it's not the truth. It's not the fact that this is how it is or this is what happened that's the most hurtful. It's this whole why wasn't it brought to my attention?
All right.
I mean, look in the big picture. When we can talk about bigger truths. And that's why I was humming the X-Files.
Oh, yeah, because we were talking about that the other day. Not necessarily X-Files, well, kind of close enough. We were talking about how, I can't remember, someone somewhere mentioned that Trump was going to release the truth about everything or something like that.
A little correction.
What?
It was actually Hillary Clinton who said that if she became president, she would release the truth. I heard
something somewhere that Trump said that he would do the same
maybe he has. I haven't heard that, but I know that was one of Hillary's things, that she was going to release all these secret UFO files. And
all the Area 51 files everything. And stuff like that, yeah. And, I mean, if you think about it, really, I mean, I would love to know if there's like aliens out there. I would love to know what all kinds of conspiracies are out there, or, what the government's been hiding from us all these years or whatever. That would be freaking amazing to me. But if you think about it, can you handle that truth? Can you really process it through your brain? Like, honestly, if it was thrown at you right now that aliens are real and the government's known all this time, how would you feel?
I don't know. I honestly think I would like to know. I think most people can handle the truth. I think the same thing there. The real upset would be, why have this been kept from us? Mm-hmm. Like we were talking about hypothetically, what if God does not exist, but aliens do? Or, on the other hand, no, there's no aliens, but we have, like in Preacher, that direct telephone to God.
Yeah.
That's what we've been hiding in Area 51.
Uh-huh.
I could handle either or. I mean, for a while, because it's a bombshell, right? When you've been lied to, or truth has been withheld from you.
Yeah, like Orion's dong.
And, yeah, like Orion's dong. Mind-blowing. And it hits you. I mean, because that's how it feels, right? It's a blow. Boom, this is how it is.
Uh-huh.
I think that the main reaction, same thing there, would be, but why have we been lied to? Why was this not told to us? Because it's kind of important.
Yeah.
I don't think civilization would crumble. I think people would be able to adjust. Either way. Mm-hmm. I think even people of deep religious beliefs, let's say the first thing is real, that there's aliens, no real God. I think people slowly would process it if all information was released. And let's say these beings are way more intelligent. They're higher in every aspect than us. I think after a while, once this initial blow, once this anger of why was we lied to and all that is settled, I think people would readjust to saying, okay, so I get the stories now. Because at that point, religion becomes stories. Mm-hmm. And I see it as what we've been talking about are these aliens. Mm-hmm. Or the other way around. There's no aliens, there's no UFOs, but there's a direct line to God. then, for instance, all people of all religions would say, ha, look, what I believed, my faith, it's true. And the people who might have been ambivalent to, well, there might be a higher power, I don't know, they would become, in that sense, religious, saying, because here's the proof. You want to talk to God? Here is truth.
There's truth to everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that really, unless
you think that maybe the government's holding on to these secrets to prevent people from going haywire kind of thing?
I think that same thing as the people who withhold truth in spaghetti bolognese, even example.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I think they think that they're doing everybody a favor by not causing some sort of mass hysteria or loss of faith or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're actually, I think in their mind, they're doing everybody a favor by withholding it.
So do you think there are a lot more things out there heavier than just knowing that there's possibly aliens out there that the government's withholding from us?
I wouldn't say maybe heavier, but of the same caliber, I'm sure. I personally believe that there's some form of real secret societies. And I'm not saying that, the Illuminati rules the world. But I think that there's probably, out of 10 of these secret societies, I'm sure 9 of them are just more or less frat. Old men fraternities.
Yeah, like high society frats.
Right, but I would say that one of them holds some sort of higher knowledge than the rest of us. And they are withholding it from the general population. Mm-hmm. I'm sure the governments are in on these secrets in one way, shape, or form, or at least know about them. So I'm pretty sure that they're withholding both aliens, other creatures, and we can't spend all night tonight about this. No, but I mean, one thing that's really fascinating, real short, is that Einstein's, what's it called, theory of relativity, is actually just a theory.
Right.
And what's interesting is all our science and when they predict things is based on a theory. Nikola Tesla, who was another prominent genius, but has kind of been discredited throughout the time, he had a different equation that does make sense, though, but it has more to do with, without going into much, but when it comes to time travel and stuff, he basically saying that time and space isn't linear. It's kind of wave-formed. And as we all know, if you've ever been surfing and stuff, you can surf through waves as well. So that you could theoretically travel through time. You could transmit electricity.
Theoretically.
Yes. But the funny thing is that that's what people have been saying about Tesla's work all the time. Oh, yeah, it's just theories. Well, the funny thing is that what we take for like an absolute truth, which is Einstein, at the end of the day, it's just a theory too. So I think the governments might know something about all these weird time lapses, time travels, stuff like that. What do you think?
Interesting. Yes. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the podcast today. It's been fun.
It's been a pleasure.
Don't forget to leave comments on our YouTube and
SoundCloud.
Send us emails if you want. Yeah, comment on SoundCloud. Facebook as well. And we'll talk to you next week.
Yes, we'll be back in approximately a week. Until then, guys, have a great week. Stay safe. Stay dry if you're in Texas. Supposedly, we're supposed to get rain.
And let us know what you think. Bye.
Bye.